Kindergarten Unit 3. You're going to start quick practice returning to what we did in Unit 2. So we're going to say and show our teen numbers where you're going to point to your teen chart, and students are going to start with number 10, and we would say 10 and we'd flash 10 on our left. We would say 11 is 10 and 1. 12 is 10 and 2. So the goal is that students are seeing the number, why they say the number, why they finger flash the number, noticing that there's a group of 10 and every teen number, and then it has extras. Now, I also have it in the 10 frames. So you can, of course, go through the teen poster 11, 12, 13, practice counting it. And then you could use these slides if you wanted to put them in slideshow mode and just go one at a time, where students are saying 11 is 10 and 1. 12 is 10 and 2. So I did put the cards on each one of the slides just to make it a little bit more engaging and visual for students. Now we get to saying the movements and the sounds. Again, this is a rehearsal from Unit 2 where the student leader gets to choose what the instrument is. In this case, it is a saxophone, and we're using our cards, whether you're using your real physical cards just like this or you're using the slides, and the student leader would get to show a card. So let's just say they showed 9. Everyone would say, what's the number 9? Class, let's do a saxophone 9 times. And the student leader would turn over the card, and all the students would do an action and a sound. So whether it's toot, toot, something like that. Okay, so toot, 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 pause. Toot, 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 toot. Okay, so the idea is that we always do that 5 group, and then we freeze, and then we continue the extra. We're also working on, what if I didn't point and you just watched? Can you track the group of 5 and the extras in that way? Now, you're also looking for students to be able to do it without the dots. So as students get better and better at it, you're looking at just this side and saying, I wonder if we can keep track of when we do 5, see if we all can pause and then know how many more. And everyone would say 4, because 5 and 4 are partners of 9. And then they would do 4 more. So we are also looking for students to be able to keep track of those 5 groups eventually, without the dots. So you'll continue that, as you can see here, through unit or lesson 4. Then we transition here to lesson 4, which is see, say, show. So this is where students are going to take that 10 card. If you're using your physical tools, there's no reason to use the slides. You can choose just to use these. And students would say, if I'm right here, let's look at there. Okay, so see the number. Don't say it, just see it. Okay, so you can see the number. Then the student leader would say it, and the whole class would say 11. Then the student leader would say show it, and the class would say 10 and 1. Okay, so the student leader is doing this part. 10 and 1 makes 11. It's very similar to the other teen numbers that we just did. But again, kids are flashing it. So again, we would say something like, everyone, see it. Okay, so they pick up the card, they stack them. Everyone's noticing what's happening. See it, say it, 12. Friends, show it. 10 and 2 make 12. They're finger flashing while the student leader is putting together those cards. So you'll continue through doing all of the teen numbers. We do them in order, then we start to mix them up. Now, fast fingers. This is when, again, you can just use your cards, and we're working on numbers 6 through 10 specifically in random order. So fast fingers would look like something like this. I would show the card, whether you're showing your slide or you're showing the actual card here, and class would, as fast as they can, put 6 fingers up on their hands. Now, I'm having them do it right in front of their heart box, right in front of their chest, because I want to see who can do it versus who's putting it in the air, and now everyone's just copying that kid. So I'm looking for the kids that go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, which kids are still counting out 6, and which kids just know that this is 6. They have subitized it. They understand it's a 5 and a 1. So the first thing we're looking for is, even when you see something like 8, I'm looking for the kids that know it's a 5 and a 3. Now, if they start doing like a 4 and a 4, of course, that's also 8. But we're first looking for, do you know that 5 group and extra, and can you start to put those fingers up quickly? Now, if they don't, and you're noticing that some kids take a while to get up to 6, no problem. You'd say, friends, how much is it? 6. Everyone, 6 is 5 and 1 are partners of 6. Everyone count to make sure you're right. We'd recount them just for those friends that need it. And then we would bring that card back as often as necessary in order for us to get automaticity with those cards. So quick practice days like that now, the rest of the unit. A lot of practice building and making those teen numbers, finger flashing them, and then getting really automatic with those numbers 6 through 10 with the 5 group. As we get into lesson 16, 17, 18, we add one more quick practice, which is telling +1 stories. So this is when one student would come up, or the student leader who's already existing, and they tell a +1 story. So it might be something like, I picked 1 cherry, or I picked 4 cherries from the tree, and then I picked 1 more. And they have to ask a question, how many cherries did I pick? And the whole class would recite the story. I picked 4 cherries from the tree. Then I picked 1 more. How many cherries did I pick? And then the student leader would give a signal, and the whole class would say 5. And we would say the equation together, because 4 plus 1 equals 5. Now, this teacher could write the equation on the board after the class says it, because 4 plus 1 equals 5. Because as we're going through this unit, remember, the teacher is writing the equation, not necessarily the students yet. They're using tiles, but we want them to see that what we just said in this story, what we represented with our hands, and what we wrote in those symbols are all the same thing. Now, we just tell one story. It goes fast. It's just the student leader's job. I'll repeat the story, and then we move on to the next day. We do another story. So every day they tell a new +1 story. Thanks for joining me for our quick practice overview in Kindergarten Unit 3. So just a reminder that the quick practice happens every day for 5 minutes, and it's led by student leaders. This gets paired with the daily routines. So you can get the link to these slides at no cost to you. They're complimentary right below this video. You can also get the slide deck for the daily routines, and you'll see that there's another video for that particular part of the lesson. That's an additional 10 minutes. Either way, you have 15 minutes worth of routines every single day in math expressions. I'm Shannon Keebler. I'm the creator of these slides and of the Math Genius Squad, which is a math expressions professional development companion. If you use math expressions as your resource, you're going to want to go join the Math Genius Squad, especially if you love these slides, as we have slides for every single lesson for the entire lesson. This is just for that first 15-minute math warm-up, but we actually have the slide deck that covers the entire lesson, in addition to small group activities, RTI supports, vocabulary supports, scaffold, you name it. The Math Genius Squad has everything that you might need, including professional development videos. This is not a teacher pay teacher resource. This is a professional development companion where I will teach you the ins and outs of kindergarten math and how to use the resources that you've been given in your prescribed curriculum to help students succeed. So again, join me at www.empowerlearngrow.com to learn more, or you can click the links below. I can't wait to see you online. See you soon.